Hello, guys, and welcome back to House Edge. We're going over NFL Week 11. How you doing, Burke?
Doing good, doing good. Can't believe we're already in week 11. 6 weeks left. Greatest sport. Let's round it out strong.
Yeah, we're getting towards the end of the season, but we're starting to get hot. We started the season a little negative, but we're slowly getting out of that hole here.
Yep,
Um, so let's put in another good week.
yep. You got some commonplace here.
Yeah, first common play, we're both going to be taking Cincinnati plus 5.5. This is way too many points for me against a Steelers team that is the defense really hasn't lived up to the hype week to week. And you're going to need to put up a lot of points to beat a Cincy team. They're putting up at least 30, so you probably want to put up at least 40 points to beat them. And I don't see that Steelers offense doing that either.
Yeah, I believe the last time we played them, which was a win for the Bengals, Jamar Chase had close to 20 catches, I believe. So they figured out the winning formula against Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers, granted, it was against a better defense than the Bengals defense and the Chargers, but he looked really bad against the Chargers Sunday night.
Yeah, he's not looking good as the season progresses. It's starting to look older by the week.
Yeah. Might be his last year.
We also have a common play with the Bucks plus 5.5 versus the Bills. I guess we like that 5.5 number.
Yep.
Bucks are sitting 2-0 against the spread, coming off of a loss and straight up. So I think this is going to be a bounce back week from a pretty good game on paper against the Patriots that they just let slip up late. And the Bills have struggled. That defense isn't the same as previous years.
Yeah, I do not understand this line. This definitely has to do with the public just supporting the Bills. Overall, they've been a good team for a bunch of years. The Bucks, I think they're overall a better team than the Bills. So 5.5 points, I'll take that any day.
Yeah, the spread is kind of out of whack. I wouldn't fault them for. I don't fault them for having Bills as the favorite, but it's definitely like a 1.5, 2 point game either way.
Yeah, I would have put this line at 1.5.
Yeah. And we also have a sort of common play. We're both going to be on the same side. We're taking the Seahawks. I'm taking them on the money line at plus 134. You're going to be taking them at plus 2.5. I mean, this is the best team in the NFC. It's a real light show for that passing game. I don't really see how you can take them as an underdog or have them as an underdog in the book. So that's an auto bet for me.
Yeah. Best team in the NFC on paper, yes. I think the Rams might be better than them just ever so slightly, and that's the reason I'm taking the points here, just in case. I am scared of the Rams. They've looked very, very good the last few weeks.
They have looked good, but I think the Seahawks are just a notch better with that offense.
It's surprising, too, that Seahawks team.
And for the rest of my plays, I'm going to be taking the Giants plus 7 versus the Packers. I told you guys last week, this Packers team it's fake. It's a fake contender. Jordan Love does not come up in the clutch. I don't know what's going on with Jordan Love in that offense, but I think we're going to take advantage of that against the Giants. Jameis Winston's playing in the game, so they're going to be good on offense, even if they get a couple turnovers.
Yeah, we're about to either have a prime Jameis performance or a prime Jameis performance, which means he's either going to have 5 picks or 5 touchdowns. That's the only reason I'm staying away from this. I'm completely in agreement with you that the Packers are frauds. That was a great hedge by you, taking the Lions to win that division. Jordan Love, that offense, they just cannot figure it out.
Yeah. And my last play, I'm going to be taking Washington and Miami over 47.5. This looks like a shootout. Both defenses have been trashed this season. And even if you wind up getting a turnover game, that just means more quick scores for that Washington offense, who will need the help with Marcus Mariota in the helm.
Yeah. Just because of Marcus Mariota, that's my only concern here. Will he be able to put up enough points? But that Miami offense honestly has been looking pretty good the last couple of weeks. I mean, they completely dismantled the Bills last week.
Yeah, I don't know how firing your GM makes your offense better, but I guess it did.
GM's the real coach. And for my plays, I'm also on that game, but I am taking Miami 2.5 point favorites over Washington. We've been saying it since the preseason show that this Washington team was going to not be as good as they were last year. Turns out we were right. Miami looked incredibly good against the Bills last week. Washington's a much worse team than the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, I came upon the over in this game because I originally was going to take Miami here, but the more I looked into it, I just couldn't pick a side in between the two. They are very similar, and then Tua is always going to be a headache. He can have a bad game.
Yeah, Tua's
So
kind of
stay
like
with me.
Jameis. He can have a good
Here's the
game.
new game.
Yeah. And then I got two more plays here. I'm taking the Chiefs 3.5 point favorites over the Broncos. Going back to our midseason show that we did last week, I think the Broncos are frauds. That's why I have hedged on the Chiefs to win that division. I expect them to really get back on track and focus up for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs to win this game, but I don't like the -3.5. That hook, I think it might come back and bite you. With how good this Broncos defense is, even with Bo Nix playing so horrible of late.
Yeah. Yeah, that defense, I think they're top in the league, honestly.
Yeah, it's the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
And it's sad that they don't have even an average offense to back it up.
Yeah. Speaking of the Broncos, I was just looking through a mock draft that I saw today. Somebody had them taking a cornerback. I was like, that's probably the worst mock draft I've ever seen. They don't need a cornerback.
Taking a quarterback?
Cornerback.
Cornerback. Oh,
They do not need cornerbacks
they don't need it. They don't need a cornerback.
in the first round. Anyway, last play, Chargers Jags over 43.5. I just think this number's a little too low. I'm expecting both teams to put up 20 points, and obviously one of them has to win.
Yeah, I like this play here. This is a game where both of these offenses are competent. Jags got a lot of flack for their loss last week, but you can't fault that on the offense. I mean, you let up 26 points in the fourth quarter by that defense. I think that the offense will keep on track, and the Chargers haven't looked that bad.
Right. And then moving on to our parlays, I'm taking a three-legger money line. I'm taking the Vikings over the Bears. I think the Bears are another one of those fraud teams. They've pulled out some miraculous wins the last couple of weeks. The Vikings, I think, are a little step above the teams like the Bengals that they beat, considering the Vikings did beat the Bengals by 38. And I'm also taking the 49ers over the Cardinals. Cardinals, they're just a mess. And I'm taking, lastly, the Eagles over the Lions. We have a lot of good games this week. Eagles, Lions, Seahawks, Rams, Bucks, Bills. I think the Eagles, I still think they're the cream of the crop. I think they're going to be able to get to the Super Bowl again, and it goes through the Lions.
Well, I don't doubt the Eagles' Super Bowl chances. I think this week the Lions are probably the play here. Just too much offense for the Lions, and the Eagles, that offense has got problems. It's just like the Packers with their offense. But I do agree with you. We have a great amount of games this week, which should make up for those three terrible primetime games we got last week.
Yeah. Did you see today AJ Brown, the news about AJ Brown? He was on.
Drop me in fantasy.
Yeah. How are you gonna say that, man? He wants out of Philadelphia.
I don't know why. Just win.
Yeah, you just won a Super Bowl. Well, without you didn't even do anything on the homework assignment and got 100. On the group project.
Win the Super Bowl. You got paid. You got paid when you got there. They paid you again.
Why is he upset? Yep.
And for my parlay, I'm also going moneyline parlay, 2 legs. I'm gonna be taking the Chiefs over the Broncos. Scared of that hook, but I do think that they sneak out this win against the Broncos. And then I'm gonna be taking the Cowboys over the Raiders. The Raiders just don't have enough to handle this Cowboys offense, who's going to put up 30, 35 points. So I like them.
Yeah, Raiders are in tank mode. I mean, it just didn't work out for them this year. Geno Smith, not working. They're going to have to draft a quarterback this year.
Absolutely. And it's the right class to do it. We got tons of quarterbacks coming out.
Yeah.
Couple sure things, couple projects they could take on.
Yeah, and the Titans aren't going to take a quarterback, so it's the best one's probably going to be left to you.
Yeah. And that rounds out our plays for this week. Good luck on your bets, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, thank you for watching.